It's late in the evening, and you're standing in the kitchen with the lights half on. The house is quiet. Your phone buzzes with a message from someone you care about. You read it, and you feel something rise in your chest, maybe hurt, maybe warmth, maybe both. And almost instantly, you push it down. You tell yourself it's not a big deal. You change the subject in your mind. You move on. But later, when everything slows down, that same feeling is still there. Waiting. Why does that happen? Why can it feel safer to stay numb than to actually feel what's inside you? What you may be experiencing is a quiet emotional guard. It's a pattern where you pull back from your own feelings, not because you don't have them, but because letting them in feels risky. In this video, we'll slow down and look at why that guard forms, how it shows up in everyday life, and one small way to soften it without forcing anything. An emotional guard is when you instinctively distance yourself from strong feelings, good or bad, so you can stay steady. It's not that you're cold. It's that your system learned that feeling too much can cost you something. One common reason is growing up in an environment where emotions felt inconvenient or unsafe. Maybe no one yelled. Maybe nothing dramatic happened. But feelings weren't really welcomed. If you cried, someone told you to calm down. If you were excited, someone teased you for being too much. Over time, you may have learned to smooth yourself out before anyone else could react. So now, even when you're alone, you downplay your own reactions. You feel something rising, and you quietly press it back into place. Sometimes, it comes from being overwhelmed at a time when you didn't have space to process it. There may have been a season in your life when too many things happened at once: loss, change, pressure, responsibility. In that stretch, staying functional mattered more than staying connected to your feelings. So your mind found a way to narrow the emotional range. It helped you get through. But even after that season ended, the habit remained. Now, when something touches you deeply, your first instinct is to shrink it so you can stay in control. There's also a quieter reason that often sits underneath: the fear of being seen too clearly. Feeling something fully can make you visible. If you care deeply about someone, they can hurt you. If you're excited about an opportunity, you can be disappointed. If you admit you're lonely, you might have to face that loneliness. So instead, you keep things moderate. You care, but not too much. You hope, but not out loud. You protect yourself by staying slightly detached, even from your own joy. It's a weekday afternoon, and you're in a small cafe near your office. The place smells like coffee and warm bread. You're sitting across from someone who's telling you something honest about how they feel about you. It's kind. It's open. You can feel your chest tighten, not in a bad way, just in a way that says this matters. You nod. You smile. You say something light to balance the moment. But inside, there's more. There's a softness that wants to show up. There's a response that feels a little vulnerable. And instead of letting it rise, you edit it. You give a safer version. Later, walking back to your car, you replay the conversation and wonder why you held back. If you've been there, you're not strange. You might know someone who lives like this. This is what an emotional guard can look like when it's quiet. It doesn't block everything. It just filters out anything that feels too real. Living this way can feel steady on the surface. You rarely overreact. You don't make scenes. You seem calm. But inside, there can be a kind of distance, from others, and from yourself. Joy doesn't fully land. Sadness doesn't fully move through. Everything stays slightly muted. Because sometimes this guard isn't a flaw. Sometimes it's your mind trying to keep you safe the only way it knows how. If you want to begin softening it, you don't have to start with big emotions. You can begin with small ones. The next time you notice a reaction, maybe a flicker of irritation, or a brief spark of excitement, pause for just a few seconds before you smooth it out. Quietly name it to yourself. That's disappointment. That's hope. That's nervousness. You don't have to analyze it. Just let the words sit there. This works because naming a feeling creates a little space around it. It turns something overwhelming into something recognizable. You may find that once it's named, it doesn't feel as threatening. Another gentle way is to let one safe person see a slightly more honest version of you. Not everything. Not all at once. Just one step closer to what you actually felt. If someone asks how you are, you might say, "I've been a little tired lately," instead of "I'm fine." If you're happy about something, you might allow yourself to show that happiness without shrinking it. This can feel small, but it slowly teaches your system that being seen doesn't always lead to harm. It builds trust in quiet layers. Over time, you may start to notice that feelings rise and fall on their own when you let them. They don't always explode. They don't always take over. Many of them just want to move through. It's understandable if part of you still hesitates. Guards don't form for no reason. They form because, at some point, being open felt like too much. So if you recognize yourself here, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It may mean you adapted well to a situation that asked you to be careful. This is for people who look steady, who handle things, who rarely fall apart in front of others, but who sometimes feel a quiet gap between what they experience and what they allow themselves to feel. You don't have to tear down the guard all at once. You can notice it. You can get curious about it. You can let one feeling stay a few seconds longer than usual. And sometimes, that's enough to remind you that you're not empty or cold. You've just been protecting something tender.